This podcast is facilitated by the World Karate Federation as part of its mission to promote and inform about karate globally. The views and opinions expressed in this episode are those of the individuals involved and do not necessarily reflect the official position of the WKF.
We've got Lashan happening this weekend, which is really exciting. All eyes will be on that event in China.
We've got our first time on the podcast a national head coach. So Noah Bitsch is now the head national coach of the senior team of Germany.
If she was winning her first European Championship in under 16, I guess, I was really jealous and I wanted to be better than her. I tried to change the mindset of the team, how we approach the fight, how we want to fight. I truly believe that's the key of the success.
Yes, hello. This is the World Karate Cast, the official podcast of the WKF, presented to you by Kaizen Culture. We are your hosts, Mitchell Durham and Nathan Blockley. And as they say in Canada, hey, that's all they say. I wasn't going to do the accent, but this is a comment from Hilary Pond from episode 8 from Douglas Brose saying, these episodes were awesome. Can't wait for 2026. Listening from the Canadian flag. We've got to give love to our English-speaking audience.
I feel like we do.
Yeah.
I mean, we've had so many countries so far, and none of them have been English as their predominant language. So yeah, giving some love to our Canadians over there.
Gives me a bit of a break as well. Like the tongue twisters of all the languages that you guys speak is incredibly hard.
I'm surprised you didn't put an accent on it, to be honest.
I felt like that would have been a bit disrespectful, maybe. What do you reckon? No, this is another exciting. We've got another deep dive episode today. We've got a very special guest on, Noah Bitsch from Germany. We're not going to be talking too much today about anything else in particular around the world of karate. I think we're going to get cracking straight into it, but this is an episode that we are super excited for, Nath.
We are, yeah. And at the moment, like we've already talked about Rome happening as our second Premier League. We've got Lashan happening this weekend, which is really exciting. All eyes will be on that event in China. So yeah, this is a great opportunity to do a deep dive with a very well-known athlete and now coach in the world of karate. So I reckon we bring him on straight away.
I reckon we've got our first time on the podcast a national head coach. So Noah Bitsch is now the head national coach of the senior team of Germany. Was previously the juniors and cadets coach. I think officially was 2025 was the official start date, but was interim for maybe 9 months before that. But people who know Noah Bitsch have seen him around the world for many years, competing.
He's an Olympian and go through the accolades, go through the list.
With it. Yeah, you are right, Nathan. He is an Olympian, securing his spot through the Paris qualification event, which was one of the hardest ways to get the spot, finishing second in that category. He's also a 9-time Premier League medalist, 4 bronze, 4 silver and a gold. He achieved 2 medals in his home World Championships in 2014 in Bremen. Team kumite finishing with the silver medal and then a bronze in the minus 75 kilogram category. Also achieving bronze in 2016 with the team again. That was such a formidable team. They were always pushing for medals and just it was something that we grew up watching, and you just always would see German team just fighting for medals, which was fantastic. And then just consistently medaling in the European Championships as well. Once again with the team getting the gold in 2012. And then the silver medal in his individual in 2015, and then a bunch of bronzes. And then another one here, which is one of the main ones, is World Games 2013 in Cali, a silver medal in that minus 75 kilogram category. Just fantastic.
Just incredible. Take a breath, Mitch. That was a lot.
Oh my goodness.
No, let's bring him on.
We are so privileged to welcome onto the podcast today our first head national coach of any country, Noah Bitsch from Germany. Thanks for coming onto the podcast today. Where are you coming from at the moment? Where are you sitting at the moment, Noah?
I'm sitting at home and in a little village, maybe the strongest karate region in Germany, and it's my pleasure for being with you guys.
I think it's probably one of the strongest because you're there and your family was there as well. So no, it's an absolute privilege to have you on today, Noah. We're really excited to talk to you. I'm actually scared of how long this episode may last because there's just so much to talk about. So thank you for coming on today.
Thank you, guys.
Now we're going to start off with a warm-up game here, some rapid-fire questions to get a little bit of knowledge about yourself outside of the world of karate. There's some karate questions in here because that's what we love, but you got to answer these questions as fast as you can. All right, so no thinking too much, just quick reactions like you were on the tatami. Is that all right?
All right, let's go.
All right, okay. We're going to go with coffee or tea.
Coffee, easy.
Favorite kata.
Kankusho.
Oh, Shotokan, man, I like that. TV series or movies?
Series.
One word to describe Yana.
Her willpower. Her
One
determination.
word. Determination. One word to describe Mia.
Her ability to get on another level in the hardest moment. I don't know how to describe that situation.
I like it. I like it. Best way to switch off from karate.
Just hanging around in my little village. It's beautiful nature. So that's the best.
Favorite meal to cook during the week?
I like Italian food a lot. So all right. Pasta.
If you were to have a holiday destination, would it be relaxing by the beach or hiking in the mountains?
Beach, for sure. Yeah.
Sweet tooth or savory snacks?
Actually, I don't like sweets that much. So I'm on a diet all the year. So.
But you stopped competing now. You can relax. You can have the sweets.
Of course, but I like to be in shape still. So.
And the last one, the most fashionable national tracksuit that's not Germany.
Easy. Italy.
Oh,
Italian.
Very good. That was a quick answer.
That was. Italy's a good call. I was going to say Ukraine.
Ukraine?
Yeah, I've always loved Ukraine's
Mine's the French. I just love the blue.
The French?
Yeah, it's very good. Anyway, but I think the German tracksuit is so nice anyway. The yellow, the red, the black, the white. It looks fantastic.
It is.
All right.
Iconic. During those quickfire questions, I thought when you said to relax from karate, I thought you said chess. I was like, are you a chess master, Noah? No, that was great. I love when the WKF do these quickfire questions. It's just such a great way to know a lot of things about the person. So thanks for doing that, Noah.
Now, we're going to take it all the way back, and you've got a very strong karate family, Noah. Obviously, growing up together and closely with your sister Yana, and underneath your father, who was a national coach for 13 years, Klaus of Germany. And then, 14 years later, Mia comes along as well, and you guys are all just doing karate together. But just talk us through what it was like growing up in your household, doing karate and just living a life of a random person in Germany.
I like the question. And the way Yana and me started karate was totally different than Mia started. So that means my father, he was never competing on the highest level. He was competing on nationals, but he was never winning. But he started to be a good coach, and Yana and me were his experiment, if you say so. So he started to grew as a coach, like we grew up as a fighter. So we were never dreaming of being the best in the world. We were like just okay. Going to a tournament, then to the next one, up to the next one, and we started to get better and better and better. And then once, of course, we became pretty good, especially in youth, juniors. Yana became European champion. I was winning silver medals, bronze medals, and worlds in junior cadets under 21. So the whole family was just developing during a certain stage of karate.
Was there a time before karate? Like it sounds like you got into this at such a young age, and it was cool to hear that. Yeah, you didn't dream of being, Premier League medalists back then. But was there a time where karate wasn't even on the cards?
No, karate was always our priority. I started with 3 years old, and Yana was even younger with 2.5 years old. It's no joke. So my father was crazy with that. So he was just pushing us to the training, and but we were not training like for being the best in the world. Just he was, because he was not experienced that much at that time. We were just checking around where's the limit. And in the beginning, we of course we were happy about winning the regional competitions here. Then yeah, some years later, the nationals, and this was the process. And then 14 years later, you just mentioned it, Mia came around, and for her it was a totally different world, because she was already used to see someone winning on the highest level. So for her, it was easy to be like national coach and national champion. It was like in her DNA, going to Europeans, to national team, to the worlds. It's like in her blood, you know. It's like something. Yeah, she was seeing it all her life, and the biggest thing is that for her, that's my deep my deep meaning, my deep opinion about Mia. She, because she know everything is possible, because Jana and me, we did it before. She has no limits. And in Jana and my mentality, sometimes we had our limits. For example, I'm truly honest right now. For me, the biggest problem to compete with Rafael Agaev or Luigi Busa was not because of they were better than me. It was most of the time because I was not prepared mentally, because I was never seeing a German guy before who was winning against them. And for Mia, it's something different. Mia was always seeing, okay, maybe I was not winning with that guy, but I was always close. Jana, she was 2 times at world podium in seniors, so silver medal and bronze medal. And for her, it's like a natural thing just to go in and showing her best. It was always her. I mean, she was 2014 in Bremen at the Worlds. She was staying on the tribune, and she was already part of it. Like, it's something natural. You cannot describe it in one word, but I guess you know what I mean.
That is so beautiful to hear. I mean, you would have been such an amazing role model, not only just for Mia, but you were a pioneer for German karate as a whole. And it was something that we would, when we were watching, all the highlights through Bremen and even Linz as well, just we would turn on the stream for the World Championships and you would see just yourself representing Germany. And I don't know, it feels like you really put Germany on your back and paved the way for a lot of this team now that it is so strong. And it's something that we would love to get into a little bit later. But I want to focus in on your relationship with Jana and growing up. And as you said, wasn't really serious about winning. It was more of like an experiment with your father, which sounds kind of crazy. But, was there any competitiveness between you two? Did you ever feel like, karate got in the way with your relationship at all?
First of all, Jan and me, we always had a perfect relationship. We are no twins, but actually we are like twins. So we were doing everything together when we were young, and of course, she wanted to be better than me, and I wanted to be better than her. This is no secret. So if she was winning, I remember, if she was winning her first European Championship in under 16, I guess I was really jealous, and I wanted to be better than her, because this was actually my sport. The year before, I became bronze medalist at the World Championship in cadets, and and at that moment she was too young to compete there. And just a few months later, she became a European gold medalist, and I was losing first or second round, and I was like, hey, what the heck? This is not the way we are playing right now. I need to train more harder, and yeah, it was like, I mean, I was all the time pushing her and supporting her, of course, but I wanted to be better than her, of course.
Of course, and let's be real. No brother and sister are the perfect relationship.
That's
There
true.
there must have had to be, and you're saying it now. It's there was competitiveness between you. What was one of the earliest memories you have of doing karate with Yana? You said you both started at such an early age. What was one of the earliest memories that you have about that?
The good thing is my father was not just pushing us to the training. He was, like I just said, we were his experiment, and he know what to do to. I mean, he created a good environment first. The group, he had a group, and he was like making friends, making a good relationship between the parents, just to keep us in the training as long as possible. And I remember clearly that with 5 or 6 years we went to like an outdoor training camp. We were sleeping in a tent, doing karate all day, swimming, and having little competitions. And this was like, I was never doing like training because of training. I was always wanted to meet my friends, and this is actually one of the biggest success or achievements of my dad for creating this kind of environment.
That's a huge thing, and it's something that we can actually really relate to. Both of our parents do karate, and they were brought in by our head coach, Branko Bradic, who he really fostered the environment of the parents. And to hear that you were doing camps where you were staying in tents, doing karate all day long, those sort of memories,
It's the best.
they never leave, do they? That's a really cool thing to hear.
Now, I'm sure we're going to touch on your, relationship with your sisters as we go through this interview here, Noah, because they're such a big part of your life still to this day as a coach now. But I want to spend some time on your career and your accolades, as it's just such an amazing career. I mean, we're just starting off here. You're 20-time German champion. I hope I'm getting that correct with my research. Just the consistency and the longevity that you've had. I have got that right, correct?
Yeah, it's right.
That's
It's history,
crazy.
actually.
I was like, that's surely not right. You must have been competing for a long time, but you're just so consistent. Was there ever a point where you thought you were just not going to win, or was it always just like, I've got this?
I mean, of course, in cadets, juniors, the level or the amount of people who are competing at nationals, it's a lot. So, and there are a lot good ones. A good, I mean, in seniors, okay, in seniors, I knew I'm the best. I will win for 99%. If I'm losing, it's only my fault. I'm doing the mistakes and then I'm losing. If I'm doing my job, then it's no risk here. I mean, I don't want to underestimate my opponents, but I knew I was on a different level. I had international level at a certain point of in my career in senior competition, but in junior cadets, the level in Germany it's high, and at that moment, I was never sure for winning the gold medal at nationals. So that means, especially during that time in that period, it was really tough.
What did you struggle with in that period? What was when you did get defeated, when you didn't win those national championships? What held you back, and how did you overcome those sort of challenges when you were in that period of your career?
Mm, I actually, you know why it's hard, because everyone has the same standard, and at that age, everyone is going to school in the afternoon. You do your training 2, 3, 4 times per week, depends on your club, whatever. I was training most of the times at that age 3, 4, 5 times, and but everyone has the same standard. That's why you're going there, and you just need to show up, and you need to be really strong mentally, and have a good plan, good strategy, good tactic for winning nationals in Germany. It's hard, especially cadets juniors.
And why did you last? Why did you make that step to the senior divisions and separate yourself from the pack? How did that happen?
That's actually the point. In the beginning, of course, I was a talented guy. I was really good. I had tough competitors, but um, in senior levels, then at a certain point, the standard changed because then I went to the sport military. I got the full support of the German team. Only a few competitors are able to join military or the police. It's not for everyone. And once you get the opportunity, you are not training once per day. You are training two per day, three times per day. You are having like physiotherapist. You are everything is covered. You are getting your monthly payment. So everything is quite good. But then, of course, you're raising your level, but also your expectations raising in the same time. But because of I was talented and good and I was raising my level, I was winning all the time in seniors because then I was not I my opponents to be serious, they had not the same standard like me. I was the only 175 guy who was full supported by the national team.
That is just fantastic to hear that. Obviously, coming from Australia, it gives me goosebumps and a little bit jealous, to be honest. But
I think you're sitting here and you're like, where do I sign up
Yeah,
to the German army?
can I do that? Can I get signed up? But like that would have been such an honor and a privilege, but would have also come with pressure and, like you said, expectation. What was that like? And how old were you when you first got that sponsorship or that scholarship?
So I was 22 years old when I became the scholarship for being part of the national team. What you have to know is I was with 18 years old, I became second at World Championship under 21, and I was already willing to go to the military program. But during that time, there was no empty place. So I had to wait almost 3.5, 4 years to get this place. This was kind of crazy. And yeah, but once you're in there, you need to show up because in total we have in Germany 750 places in military for all sports, but only 50 for non-Olympic sports. That means 700 Olympic sport, 50 non-Olympic. And after every year, they compare each sport, and sometimes karate has 5 places, sometimes 7. And I remember once I wanted to go in, we only had 4 places. So it depends always on the results, and that's why it was pretty good that the German team was winning 2 gold medals last year at the World Games, because now we're having a better yeah,
Representation.
representation in the NOC, in the National Olympic Committee.
Wow.
Yeah,
So
wow.
so obviously the more success that German karate has gives more spots for this scholarship, right?
Yeah.
Can you give us an insight into some other German athletes that have gone through this process of had this scholarship and been able to commit a year of their life to just purely training?
Of course, at the moment we're having like really good conditions. We're having seven competitors in the military.
Yeah,
So
wow.
it's of course our world champion Johanna Kner. Then it's Mia, it's Hannah Riedel, Mohamed Özdemir, um, then one kata girl, and Reem Kamis, 61, of course. So we have a lot of good ones. And to be honest, the guys who are winning all the time or winning most of the times medals for Germany, they are supported most of the times by the military. And the second part is the sport police. But in the police, it's even more harder to be part of it.
Yeah, wow. That's it's such an elitist program. It sounds like, and it's clearly paying off. Like being able to dedicate your life like that and get supported in that way. It's an incredible, and that's such a great insight into
Yep.
German karate. Like I would have never known that.
No way. The infrastructure in German karate must be so strong. And we want to take it back to your competition and your success, because this would have been such a big moment for you, and you dedicating essentially your life to becoming world champion, chasing that goal and competing for such a long time. The European space, that's like a battlefield that we see on the outside. We never get to experience that. Obviously, we're allowed to go to the world championships, but there's something about the European continental championships that just seems like this. I don't know.
Feels different,
It
doesn't
feels
it? Yeah.
different. I just want you to talk about. You had such great success here, and as well as the team space as well for you. Just talk about what was it like representing at the highest stage at the European Championships so consistently.
I mean, like you just mentioned, Europeans are crazy, especially in the golden era, minus 75. It was like it was a battlefield. So there were so many good competitors. There were even guys you don't know the names. They're coming just out of nowhere from Macedonia, from Kosovo, from these small countries, but always good 75. And then you, of course, you have these 3-4 guys who are always winning the medals. Agaev, Busa, Horuna, Rene Small, all these guys you were fighting against, and the atmosphere before, it's crazy. It's really crazy.
I mean, just those names you mentioned just then just give me like flashbacks and goosebumps just because we remember watching you fight at these big championships. And just talk us a little bit about those tough matchups that you had, obviously fighting with Agaev and Busa and Smal and Haruna. Just touch on some of these battles that you had.
I mean, with these guys, you need to be prepared. You need to be ready, because otherwise you have no chance. All of them are legends. All of them were winning European gold medal. So it's not only one is winning all the time. Even Agaev was winning most of the times, but René Smal, Haruna, I guess also Busa, he was winning 1 or 2 times. So, of course, if these guys are in your pool, it will be a tough one. I was able sometimes to beat them or to get a close matchup. But Europeans was always hard, especially 75. It was at that moment it was pretty hard.
Yeah, definitely. Do you have a particular fight that comes to mind, especially in that time, that it just sticks out and you're like, that was one of the best fights I ever had?
Actually, I'm not thinking about this a special fight. I'm not. Actually, no, I don't have. I'm having competitions like where I know I was in the flow. I was in a really really good shape. I have some really good ones. For example, the World Games when I was winning silver medal 2013 in Colombia, or 2014 the World Championship in Bremen. It was I was on fire. It was crazy.
Well, this is something that we want to talk about next. Is the World Championships in your hometown? Well, not your hometown, but your home nation in Bremen, 2014. You not only took away the bronze medal in the individual, but the silver in the team event as well. That just must have been such a proud moment for you to win and succeed on home soil. Just talk us about that flow state that you were in and what it was like with the crowd behind you.
Of course, 2014, the goal was clear. We wanted to become world champion. So we were 2012, we became European champion. We were writing history. First time a German team were winning gold medal in Europe. We are such a big country, strong country before. We had good generations before, but no team was able to win the gold medal. So, and at that moment, 2012, we understood, okay, we are ready for the big world stage. Because if you win gold in Europe, you're ready. There's only some teams missing, like Egypt, Iran, and Japan at that time. There was no Jordania or I don't know. So only 2 or 3 countries are missing. And 2012 in Paris at the Worlds, we went there. We were so young. We were really young guns at that moment, full of confidence, but also kind of stupid sometimes. So And then we were in the semifinal with France. Actually, it was really, really close match. We lost in the end. And then for the bronze match, we got beaten up by the Egypt team. Really, we had no chance because we were not mentally prepared for that match. But this experience helped us to go to the next goal, to 2014, to Bremen, and to compete on the highest level, to get more experience, of course, to be more an adult, to be uh, yeah, act more like a real champion and not like a little kid still. Because at that age, 2012, I was 23 years old. I thought that no one is ever beating us again in team, and then bam, it was 2012. Just Egypt came around the corner, and it was so easy for them. And 2014, we had a tough group. I mean, a tough pool. We were winning with Kazakhstan, with Egypt, with Turkey in semifinal. It was really tough. And then on the other side, it was Iran, and Iran was just starting their era. They won 3 times in a row gold medal in team, and we were the first time. Actually, we we hoped we are able to win, and but okay, we won silver. We two we won 2 matches in the final. They won 3. It was
So close.
yeah, really close one. But I'm so proud and so happy for my team because at that time we had really a strong group.
Although, yeah, you must be incredibly proud of them. I mean, those some incredible results and accolades to hold with you for life. It sounds like you are very passionate about Team Kumite, and your results reflect it as well. How much of a prominent role you had in the German men's team during that era. Um, how did you see like individual kumite and team kumite? Did you prefer one to the other? I mean, in 2012, that was when you won your Premier League gold medal. Same year, you won the Europeans in the team kumite. So yeah, how did you see these two different types of kumite, these two different formats?
Actually, my national coach was always telling that I'm fighting better in team than an individual. So probably if I would able to fight more like the team Noah, I could have been more better or more successful. And because in team I knew there were 2 leaders in the team. It was Jonathan Horn and me, and the rest of the team, there were good ones, but there were no world class fighters. So, and we knew we have to win in the team, and that's why we were pushing forward. We were doing everything for the win. We were leading the match up or the match from second one. And in individual, I was sometimes fighting a bit different. I like to go back and just waiting and yeah, I was good at that at that kind of fighting style, of course, but now as a coach, I don't like these guys. I like to see guys who are going forward. That's why I'm pushing my team forward, like Mia, like Johanna, all these guys, Shara, all these guys who are winning medals consecutive times all the time. I I changed the way of fighting how Germany was fighting before. Before the last 25 years, Germany was more passive, more waiting for the moment, good for counterattacks. And now I try to change it a little bit, the tactic and the way my old national coach actually wanted to see me.
Now, there's a pretty big thing that we have to mention here, and it's not often that we get to talk about these types of games with everyone. Not many people made this feat, but Noah, you are an Olympian.
Yes, I am.
How does that feel to be known as an Olympian, to represent your country at the Olympic Games? The qualification process was a tough one, obviously, going through the Paris qualification event. It was a very tough time, obviously, during COVID, and the matches that you had were insane, but you made it. Talk us a little bit about your time qualifying for the Olympics and then also at the Olympic Games itself.
I mean, it still feels a little bit like a dream, to be honest. It's a fairy tale because I was a high level, world class athlete right before the Olympic qualification started. And then I felt in my biggest step of my career. The pressure was so high. The pressure, first of all, the pressure I did to myself personally. I thought, okay, I was winning already world medals, world games medals, Europeans. I need to be there for sure. And then my federation came around the corner and said, okay, you are one of these guys we will support, and you have to be there for sure. And then right at that moment, the qualification started. My performance, puff, went down, and actually, I was a little bit lost during that period. I was running. I was just running behind the tournaments. Every 4 weeks, another tournament. Every 4 weeks, another defeat. Because I was not able to win a medal at Series A or Premier League anymore. Something I was used to do it before. I was grand winner. You know, you can imagine to be a grand winner, you need to. I know I was able because in training I was still in a pretty good shape, but I was not performing on the tatami. And I was searching for the key. I was searching for a way out of my little karate depression. And then I already almost lost the battle. And then for the rest of the world, COVID was a disaster. But for me, it was the lucky time. It was the perfect time to breathe, the perfect time to refocus and to change something in my life. Because to be honest, I was not used to fight every 4 weeks for points, for medals. In my career, I like to be like more having 2 or 3 goals per year. Europeans, World Championship, World Games, maybe something like that, or 1 or 2 goals. Not that many. And I wasn't ready. I wasn't mentally not ready for fighting every 4 weeks. So COVID came, and I had to change to breathe. And I did. I started again. We did basic training. I did shadow training like I did when I was a young kid. My father was next to me. We were doing a lot of technical things. So really boring shadow training, like I was used to do it when I was a young kid. And I changed a little bit my personal situation. I changed my my physical coach. Yeah, so many things I changed. And then just when the new season started, my national coach wanted to go with us to a friendly match in France to fight with France. I said, no, sorry, I'm not going. I will stay at home. I'm not ready to fight. I want to focus on 1, 2 tournaments. He said, okay, if you want so, okay, stay at home. Then the Premier League in Portugal, Lisboa, came around. He said, okay, I'm gonna register you there. I said, no, no, I'm not fighting there. I will not go there. Say, hey, what are you talking about? You need to prepare yourself. You was not competing during COVID time. Said, no, no, trust me. I will focus on 1, 2 tournaments, and you will see. I'm ready. I'm back. I truly believed that before. And then I said, he said, okay, Istanbul Premier League is around the corner. And I said, I'm not going. He said, this time you're going. Okay, I went there and I was winning bronze medal after 2 years.
Wow.
2 years, I was winning a medal again, and it really helped me to understand that I'm still able to do it. I mean, I truly believed all the time, even during that hard period. I truly believed that I still got it, but something something was holding me back to show my best.
You had like your Rocky
And
Balboa moment, you know. This sounds like a Rocky Balboa movie. Like you had your time where you had to go strip it back to basics. You obviously had a pretty tough time, but what was it that was holding you back? Do you know at this stage, and are you obviously comfortable to share it with us and the community? What was it, the thing that was really holding you down?
During that time, I'm not telling the name of the coach, but I was next to my father. I was having a second coach, and he's a super great coach. He's a famous coach, and he's really one of the best in the world. I was training a lot with him, but now I understand that the way the way he wanted to see me fighting was totally the opposite. I was seeing myself, or my dad was seeing myself. So that's why my style was like, I was not having a style anymore. My style was, the one wanted to see me like that, the other one was wanted to see me like that, and I really didn't know, am I going right or am I going left? So I was confused, and I was not doing the right things. I was not doing the right decisions. Even I was really training. I was not injured. I was not lazy. I was training a lot, and I was in a good shape. So that's why I said in training I was a beast. But on the tatami, I was not even 50%. I was losing so many matches, and yeah. And then after COVID, or during COVID time, I also changed that situation. I went back to my father's training for 100%, and yeah, he didn't do something special. We just do the basic training, and it paid off. Then we went after the Premier League. I went to the Europeans, and I was able to win a medal after 4 years, bronze medal again. I was losing with Agaev in the last second in the semifinal. Then the Paris qualification tournament came. I was I was ready. I was just ready, and because I knew I was training a lot, and I was back in the flow. Everything worked out, and then, like always in life, once you think you're back, the destiny is coming, and I injured myself in the pool final. I got a knee injury, but I was able to finish the tournament. Until now, I don't know how I managed to do that, because I had a serious inside ligament injury. But I don't know, the will to go to the Olympic Games was much more bigger than the pain I had in my knee, and I had to finish the pool final. It was with Atsikanov from Kazakhstan, so a really good one, and then we had 2 more minutes to fight, so it was a really tough match. And then semi-final I had with Otabolaev. He became world champion the year 2021 from Uzbekistan, and I was also winning against him in a really tough match without painkillers, because there were only 3 5 minutes in between.
Mm.
So, and then in the evening there were 2 or 3 hours in between. The doctor came, I got an injection, painkillers, tape around my knee, everything was fine. But I really don't know how I managed to fight the semifinal without painkillers. It was just the pure will of not giving up. It was crazy.
Yeah, you could obviously tell how much making it to the Olympics meant in that moment, and especially going through those years of the struggle, losing yourself a little bit, but then finding yourself as well. And it sounds like it was just a little. It ended up being just a little bit of misalignment with you and your coach, but you brought it back to basics. You found your faith again, and you got that Olympic qualification spot. How did it feel getting that spot, and then what was it like, that transition to the Olympic Games?
No, it felt like a dream, because I guess every sportsman around the world is watching Olympic Games. When I was starting, when I was a little kid, all day long, I didn't care what kind of sport. I was just seeing the rings, and I was flashed. I wanted to see the Olympic Games all my life. And then actually I was a part of it, and I was enjoying every moment. Even I arrived to Tokyo with an injury. My first kumite training was in Tokyo. It was, I guess, 6 or 8 weeks. I don't know exactly anymore. In between the qualification tournament and the games. So I was at home having physiotherapy every day, and I did a lot of visualization training, and it also made something with me. What I'm understanding right now as a coach. so that sometimes you don't need to train every day 2-3 times. If you train in the right way, or even with an injury, if you do training in your mind, visualization, you can achieve way more than you can actually believe. And then at the Olympic Games, even I was not training because of the injury. I had one of my best fights because I was in this tough group with Agaev and Buza, and only the best two went to the semifinal. I was able to do one of my best fights against these two monsters. I mean, they were full in training. They were in their best shape, and I went there, and they, they, to be honest, I'm still laughing because they were just able to win in the last seconds against me. It was such a tiny matchup, and that's why I'm not disappointed or anything about the Olympic Games. I'm just still proud of myself to be part of the games, to be that I was able to show my best, and but this was also a good moment to retire, because this is something what I'm. This is a good advice actually also for athletes, to find the right way to retire. If you miss this moment, it really can affect, not only for some months, it also affects maybe some years of your life, that you still think about, oh, what if. And now for me, I found the way, I found the best way on the highest stage, on the Olympic Games, to retire, and I'm really happy.
Wow.
I'm not having 1% feeling or motivation to go back on the tatami. Not even 1%.
That's so that's so beautiful, and I mean the your story, and it's so amazing to share that because obviously we don't have any idea about what you go through in the preparation to performing at the highest level, and I can imagine that the resilience that you had to show in getting through that time where you were a bit lost, and then obviously the Olympic Games, your injuries, I believe that has positioned you so well to be such an amazing coach now for this team coming through in the German senior national team. So I can't even imagine what that would do for those athletes and the stories that you can share with them. I believe that's just so powerful.
Let's ask some questions about you as a national coach now, and how you see the team and how you see the athletes. Mitch, take it away.
Well, I mean, we would love to know, you've been fighting for a long time, obviously, medaling in 2012, such a different era back then. We believe that the game has changed so much, but we want to hear it from your perspective. And you were just talking on it a little bit about how the different styles of waiting but then pushing, but just touch on how you think that the game has changed for kumite in 2026 as opposed to back in 2010s.
Of course, 2010, it changed a lot, because it was more 2010. It was more static. Um, okay, there were good kicks, but not that flexibility like now, of course. But when I retired 2021, it doesn't change that much. That's my opinion. So it's only the way you approach a fight. That's how the German karate changed. So I tried to change the mindset of the team, how we approach the fight, how we want to fight, what is the strategy, and that's actually, I truly believe that's the key of the success, of the big success. We were winning after 22 years. First time gold medal at female kumite at World Championship with Johanna Kner. So we were waiting for such a long time. Even like I just said, we always had perfect conditions for many girls. So like good scholarship, monthly payment, doctors, physiotherapists, everything is on a high level, but we were not able to win a gold medal. Then last year we won two gold medals at World Games. We were number one in Europe at European Championship, as in the medal standing, and it's actually I'm not doing something really big. I just want to see them fight in a different way. I don't want to see them wait, because they were there before. I was fighting. I was in the same team with Johanna, for example. She always was a good fighter. She always had that quality. But I always believe that she doesn't show her maximum. She's underperforming. Even she's winning already medals at Premier Leagues like 5 to 10 years ago. I truly believe that she's able for winning gold medals at worlds, and this is actually what she did the last 2 years.
So do you think it's not necessarily a strategy or a tactical change that you've sort of implemented with the German team? It's more of a mindset and a mentality change. And what have you? Obviously, you can't reveal all of your secrets, but
No, he can if he wants to.
you reckon? Yeah.
If he
Okay.
wants to,
Hey, if you want to reveal all the secrets,
please. Yeah.
But what is just that idea that you're obviously pushing for your athletes now?
No, of course, it's a mix of both. We changed the tactic. We changed the tactic from being like a static fighter and a fighter who's always waiting, for being more the guy who's showing your opponent and also the referees that you want to win this match, even without doing something special, without doing more risk than before, just for being more presence, for showing the best of you, and not only wait. And then in the end, it was like in my age, like, oh, the referees were not awarding my point. That if there was like an action 1-1 in the last second, for example, and then it was, oh, they were doing 2 flags for him and 1 for me. The referees are so bad. But this I understood just right after I retired my own career, that you need, if you want to get the flags of the referees, show the referees good karate, show them your personality, show them something from you. And if you just wait and go back and then you hope for the golden moment, it's hard to really win the golden moment. And this is something we changed. Yeah.
So often it goes the other way as well, that you want, if you just wait for that last point and then the exchange happens and you leave it all up to the referees, and it could be a pretty equal point, but it just goes one way and not yours. It triggers me how often athletes do that. And then you see like at the Rome Premier League, like Matteo versus Edward in the under 84 kumite division.
Just going at it.
Like and dogs. They were doing exactly what Noah was saying. They were competing for convincing the referees who wanted it most. Mm-hmm. And in the end, Matteo got that. So that mind shift is massive. And I think that must be a massive part of why the German team's so successful at the moment. And when you were talking about your early days in karate, the mentality was something you kept coming back to. You kept mentioning that this was a limiting factor for you and your career. How have you implemented it into the German team right now? Like, obviously it's a main focus, but is like mindfulness, is visualization very important for the team? How do you ingrain that into an athlete?
Of course, we're doing visualization a lot. And I just want to see, as a coach, I totally believe, and I believe in my athletes. And the only thing I want to see is that they're showing their karate. I don't want to see one action in 3 minutes. This is not what we are training for. Most of the, not even most, all of the national team of Germany, they are such a good athletes. They're training a lot. They have a lot of skills. Their skill set is massive. It's huge. So why you're waiting for this perfect punch? Okay, sometimes, of course, if you're fighting with number 1 in the world, you need to fight in a tactic way. Do not risk that much. But if, and for example, in Premier League, for my team, there are maybe 3, 4, 5 guys you need to fight in a tactic way. For the rest, I'm always telling them, go and show your karate, because your karate is good. Go and kick and punch and do it in a good way, and do not wait for just one single lucky punch, because that's what we are not training for. And I truly believe that this kind of mentality, it helped us a lot. If we are not have that kind of level, okay, then maybe we need to go and try to be always like fighting in a passive way, waiting for the golden moment, like this underdog mentality. But we are not underdogs. We are having this favorite mentalities. This is actually what we change. We are the favorites in every matchup. We are the favorites.
Oh my goodness. That is just clip that up and put that everywhere because that is just fantastic. I got goosebumps. That is fantastic.
I'm just watching you, and it's like it's a motivational
Yeah,
clip.
I'm ready
It's
to
like-
go. I'm ready to go. Thanks for telling me that. I'm like, let's go. Anyway, but let's get back on track. You know, the team that you've got right now is fantastic. And what you're saying is true. You do walk into a lot of matchups being the favorites. I mean, you mentioned some of the names before. Joanna Kinnear, Shara Hubaric, obviously grand winner Reem Kamis. You've got Hannah Riddell, Mohammed Ozdemir, and then obviously your little sister in Mia Bish, who's also a phenomenal competitor. Just such a great force to reckon with at the moment. I would love to know what it's like coaching your little sister at the moment. Is it very easy to separate the relationship between coach and athlete and brother and sister, or is there some awkward drives on the way home?
No, actually, this is also what I'm doing with my athletes, not only with Mia. I'm always the same type of guy. If we are winning, I love them, of course, but if we are losing, I love them the same way. So if they're losing, I take them and we're going for coffee. It's not only with me; it's with all of them. So I'm never taking it personally. So I trust. I just want to help them in the best way I can, and I know that they're giving their best. And if they're giving their best, then there's no bad feelings here. So, and with Mia, of course, with Mia, she's my little sister, but because I was doing the coaching part for her, not only the last 2 years, even 10 years before, when she was really really small, like 10, 12, 13 years, we started already that I was coaching her at the nationals, and the the belief, the trust we have in each other is really big. So once I'm saying something on the coaching the coaching chair, um, she truly knows that I know her exactly. I know every exact movement, and this is also part of the success. And at the moment, it works out.
And not only Mia, but the whole team seems to trust you. And I see the way that you operate at the Premier League and at the World Championships, and your connection with your athletes is extremely strong. And I can imagine that that stems from a really strong connection of trust, first of all. How do you develop that relationship with, is it just coffees all the time, or is it more than that?
No, of course, it was only an example. I try to treat them like my team. We are. It's not. I'm not the biggest person in the team. I'm the coach. But I'm nothing without my athletes, and that's how I treat them, and that's what they know. And like I said, if they're winning, I don't want to be in the spotlight, and they know that. I had my time. I was an athlete. I had my time for being in the spotlight. I tried to push them. I tried to help them, and they know that I just want the best for them. And and I guess because I'm always honest with them, I tell them always if I'm happy with their performance or not, or we're having this kind of trust. For they're also telling me, like, before team matches, we had this situation that once one girl came and said, no, sorry, I'm not feeling good today. I know you need me, but I'm not ready for that. So, and this is exactly what I want, because sometimes yeah, this is the little things. If she's afraid for telling the coach that she's not ready, then she's losing. Then I'm pissed. Then unhappy, then the whole team is unhappy. No, this is we're trying to have a good relationship, and and the honest relationship. For this is actually, there's no secret here. I just try to be a good human being. Even it sounds easy, I try to treat him or treat the team like, and it's not only I try to, I treat them because I like them, I love them, I try to support them, and this is my passion. It's not only a job.
What's one of the main challenges that you've faced as a coach so far?
Actually, the biggest challenges is when one of my athlete is injured. This is something um, I truly I truly struggle with myself, because I know that now I cannot help them. They need their time with the physiotherapist, with the doctor, and I want to help them, but I'm not able to help because it's not my time now. And this is what really what what really makes the life of a coach hard. If you see one of your best athletes is not ready or is struggling with that, with their body.
Yeah, I can tell you that you really feel with your team. It's not just, and I'm sure every athlete knows stepping out on the tatami that they're not alone and you're with them 100% before, during, and after. No, it's a really good insight into your coaching philosophy, and I think it's so important to have that honesty and trust.
Before we move on to the final parts of this interview, Noah, which has been fantastic, by the way, and thank you so much for sharing some of your amazing insights on coaching. But where do you see German karate heading? Obviously, you guys have had such an amazing resurgence, and you guys are a formidable country right now. Where do you see German karate in, let's say, 5 or 10 years' time?
Um, Actually, I'm not looking that much ahead, because the goals are just around the corner. We are having in 8 weeks, we're having Europeans in Germany after 20 years, so we need to be ready, and we will be ready. I'm sure. I believe in my team, and this will be a good competition for us. I'm sure.
That's
And
a
the next one is even much more bigger, because I said it already before. The World Games is the most important tournament for the whole national team, because there's the National Olympic Committee from Germany. They are comparing World Games, Olympic Games, and this is more bigger than World Championship. And 2029, we're having World Games in Germany.
Wow, that is
So
fantastic. So obviously we've got the European Championships in Germany this year, and then 3 years down the track you've got the World Games. So it's all on for you right now. What is the main focus for the European Championships coming up in Germany in just a few weeks?
I mean, the main goal is to show the best, to show the best of each athlete, to show the spectators, because in Germany you can be sure that the stadium will be full, it will be crowded, and they will support the team. So we need to handle the pressure, we need to handle the expectations, and then the team is ready. It's They have the quality, but like in Europe, everyone is ready. There's Italy coming, Ukraine coming, France, Turkey. All the big countries are coming. That's why you have to be ready if you want to win. And but we will be ready, I'm sure.
On that topic of Team Kumite, it's so important, the Europeans coming up in a couple of weeks' time, and that plays a part of whether the German team gets a spot at the Karate World Cup again. Obviously, you guys competed in 2024 in Pamplona. Incredibly tough pool. You guys managed to it was third in the pool against Japan and Turkey, two very strong teams. I'm assuming it's not the result you guys were looking for, and it's such a strong team. We were actually in that pool as well, Australia.
Not to mention Australia.
Yeah, very tough pool. How important is the Karate World Cup? Obviously, you've got your eyes set on the Europeans because that's what qualifies you for the Karate World Cup at the end of the year. But how was that experience in 2024? And how do you see the Karate World Cup playing its role in the world of karate and the importance of it?
Actually, 2024, the goal was to win a medal there. So that's why we didn't achieve that. So it's one of the biggest disappointments in my coaching career because our team is incredibly strong, especially the female team is incredibly strong. They were able to win 3 times in a row European title in team. And the talent of the female group is exceptional. It's really a big, strong team. So, but to be honest, the World Cup expectations or the goal in 2026 is a bit different than 24, because now we need to, if we qualify for the World Cup 2026. We will go there with just enjoyment, with just happiness, with being more relaxed and more like enjoy to be there. To be honest, it's something different than 2024. It's because of 2 reasons. 2024 we had only Europeans, and this was one of the big goals. 2026 we had, or we will have, not only Europeans, we will have Europeans in our own country. So that means the pressure is even more high. And I know that after that tournament, my team needs a little break. And then we are coming to the second reason why we are not focusing on the World Cup 2026 that much like 2024 is because most of the guys were competing 2025 at World Games or at the World Championship, and they are already suffering a little bit. The calendar, the schedule is really tough. You know that the WKF is having a tough calendar, especially in the first half of the year. So after that, I need to give them a little break for just to be ready for the upcoming seasons. I'm especially telling seasons because 2029 we're having World Games, and I still want to see them there and not burned out. So
that is like looking that far in advance and planning for that. I mean, it's your job. No, you're the head national coach, and it's great to hear that you are planning for that far in advance and prioritizing other competitions over, But to hear that the Europeans is such a massive focus and it's going to be in your home country, I can't wait for that event. That's going to be
good. I just love the mindset as well, like going into each event with enjoyment, just to relieve that pressure a little bit, because obviously the team is amazing. It's a stacked team. I think the depth of the team is just wild. I think you could potentially fill 3 teams in one with the talented women that you have in your country. But I am so excited to see what you guys are going to do at the European Championships in 5 weeks. Obviously, we've got the Premier League coming up, and you've got quite a big representation from Germany going to China Premier League. Is that correct?
Yeah, 21 athletes.
21?
It's crazy, yeah. Massive team.
Yeah, we're having a talented group, and I'm going to tell you, the male team is also on their way. So I can't wait to see the male team. They're growing step by step. Of course, they are not like winning all the time like the ladies did the last years, but I'm sure this team is growing, and they will at least compete in Europe for medals soon. So I'm sure if they are already ready for Iran, Turkey, or Iran, Jordania, Japan, I don't know. I don't think so at the moment. But for Europe, I can't wait to see them against Italy, Ukraine, and France. So I'm sure they are able to win against these teams.
I hope this reel gets made, like a clip of Noah saying this, and then in the future it just cuts to
both teams
a
winning the World
montage.
Cup.
That would be incredible.
Could you imagine? Wow. No, this is absolutely fantastic. And we can't tell you how much we appreciate hearing your insights to coaching. We could have spent hours, honestly, dissecting your career and everything about your coaching and your transition into coaching. But, time is limited. You're a busy man. And we know that you've probably got another 3 more training sessions to get to today. But before we go, I just would love if you could sign off to the karate community with something, maybe a little piece of advice or anything that maybe we can get a little bit more connected to you, Noah Bitsch, as the person rather than the karate person.
Boy, this is actually the toughest one.
It's hard to talk about stuff outside of karate, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. To be honest, I mean, there's no secret. You just need to work hard, and you need to really believe that everything is possible. And then, of course, to become a world champion, it's almost impossible. But to be the best version of yourself, it's not impossible. And if the best version of yourself is bringing you to a bronze medal, or at least to the world championship to participate, or in the end to become a world champion, it's super great. But the first goal needs to be the best, to show yourself, to show everyone who you are able to be, and just be the best version of yourself every single day. This must be the goal. This is actually my goal. And I was never world champion, unfortunately. But most of the times I tried to be the best version of myself.
Wow.
Or I not even I tried. I was the best
I think you
version.
did
And
pretty.
you are,
I think you
yeah.
did pretty good, Noah. I think you won the hearts of a lot of fans around the world with your performances and the way that you go about it. Not only now as an athlete, but now as a coach, and that is just some beautiful advice.
No, it's been an absolute pleasure talking to you today, Noah, and hearing all the insights, as Mitch said already. We wish you the best of luck in Lasham with such a big team, and we wish you the best for the Europeans, because I don't know if we'll see each other before then.
I don't think so. Thank you so much, Noah, and I would love to get you onto the podcast again to talk about so many more things. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, guys, for having me. It was really my pleasure. And take care. See you around.
Wow, how good.
That was a long episode.
Long episode, but just some really good nuggets in that one.
Yeah, no, some really good pieces of advice, and the fact that like Noah's gone through all those different stages in his career and learnt those different lessons, and now he's primed to implement that sort of thing into the German team at the moment, and we're seeing such great results from them currently.
It is a very strong team, and I love the non-focus on the strategy and the tactics. Obviously, that's an important part about bringing your team forward, but it's about the mindset and the mentality shift about willing yourself to believe that you can go out there and compete and just showing your best version of karate, which is
showing
so
your
good.
best karate.
Yeah, that was really, really awesome.
I do love how like we, especially at the start, we were like, tell us about your childhood, your upbringing and all of this sort of stuff. And it just went straight to karate. It was just like, it's such a default for us. There's not a whole lot that we want to talk about outside of our
It's our
sport.
passion.
Yeah,
It's our
and
passion.
it was just every time we try to direct the conversation slightly away to learn. So like your question right at the end, it was like, tell us something that is not about karate, and he goes straight into some advice about karate. It's just like, it's our default. It's so funny to observe.
He said that was the hardest question.
Yeah.
And there were some pretty hard questions in there about his philosophy around coaching and just everything around, his relationship with his sisters growing up. He just seemed like a really deep person. And I loved how he was talking about the retirement stuff as well. Like, as you said before, it's a common theme at the moment with some of the big names in our sport retiring. And it doesn't really get spoken about much about the mental and emotional toll that stepping away from something you dedicate so much time to, what that does for you as an athlete. So I would love to get him back on again and talk about that sort of stuff.
Yeah, get some more nuggets, hey, mate.
Get some more nuggets. All right. So many takeaways from this episode, but we can't recap it. We're just going to go back and watch it again.
Yep.
But as always, this has been an absolute pleasure to interview some of the sports superstars, especially with Noah Bitsch. Looking ahead, we've got the Premier League in Lishan starting this week.
Mm-hmm.
So make sure if you want to watch the finals, if you want to watch the exclusive stuff from the Premier League, make sure you sign up to as a karate fan on the WKF YouTube channel.
Yeah, I mean, I'm watching Final Sunday and it's going to be on Karate Fan.
It is so awesome. You get early access to new videos and the Premier League finals, dedicated mentions to members, and also watching the content ad-free. You get exclusive videos and live broadcasts available just for members. So it's something that you must get, especially leading into the Premier League in Lishan.
Yeah, good luck to all the athletes. Thank you for listening to this episode. Let us know what you liked about the interview with Noah Bitsch. Comment down below what country you're listening in from. Mitch needs some more countries. I can't wait to hear him try some really
I don't know if I'm
obscure
allowed
ones.
to
Yeah.
do an English-speaking country next, because we did Canada this time, so maybe give me some tricky countries to do. But
Yeah,
thank
no.
you so much, as always. And please like, share, and comment down below. See you on the next one.
Thank you very much, Mitch.